is like odorless, that's the date rape drug, basically. That's kind of what they put it in a little teaspoon in your drink and you don't even know it's there. It's got no taste, no nothing, and boom, you're out.
Right. And the boys were all prepared. They knew that this was going on in Cabo. It's a thing. What they usually do is they give it to someone, they immediately drop, and they go to reach down to like help them, and they take their phone and their wallet. That's like the key is what doing it. He fortunately had walked right back over and collapsed in front of his friends. Thank God.
1 minute delay.
Wow.
Anyway.
1 minute delay?
Like if I started now, I'd get that.
Okay. So someone should call Kenny and see if he's remembers. I know he's in the middle of band camp, but we're 1 minute from going live.
Okay. I got it.
Yeah, with those band camps, man, they got you by the leash.
They
just
do.
did it.
Live?
I'll go live on YouTube now.
Okay, we're going live on YouTube. Tell me when we're live.
I lost the voice. Dialogue got really soft.
We're live on YouTube, y'all.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
People.
Good.
All right.
Is it showtime? Is it showtime yet?
Well,
Oh, okay, got it.
Are we live? Glenn, are we live?
Got it. Got it.
2, 4, 8, 7, 6, 6, 4, 9, 5, 8
Is not available.
Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, there he is.
Kenny.
I'm gonna call in right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, full house.
Okay, you guys, it's 5:30, you guys. We're gonna start the show.
Okay, call in, Kenny.
Well, here, I'm gonna call in right now.
Okay.
All right. But we're gonna go ahead and start the show, and then Kenny will pop in. You guys ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
Ready, Freddie.
5.
All right, we are live. Here we go. Facebook,
Wonderful.
baby.
Play that wonderful theme song.
Drum fill.
The Rock and Talk Show, Beyond Backstage, with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss.
And welcome to the Rock and Talk Show, show number, I think 47 or 48. This is the bi-weekly show that dives deep into the entertainment industry, the business of it, the stories, the culture, and everything in between. I'm the Moss Man. Let me quickly introduce my co-hosts. We've got Stephen Perkins over here from Jane's Addiction. We've got Norwood Fisher from Fishbone rocking the Rock and Talk Show t-shirt. Kenny Olson, Twisted Brown Trucker Band, who's at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. Sheila Olson from the Conlon Company. And Scotty Page from Pink Floyd, and a little guest over there. We got Glenn over there. Glenn Stern. Yeah, what's up? They're in Austin. We're all in different parts of the world right now today. I'm up in Humboldt County. Scotty, where are you?
I'm at South by Southwest. We're in Austin. We're setting up for our big nights. We got 4 nights at the coolest venue. We're going to be mixing and mashing, minting real-time NFTs, jamming with some of the greatest NFT properties out there, Bored Apes, CryptoPunks, and we're going to be rocking. It's going to be fun.
Perkins, where are you? You're at Perkins Palace.
Yeah, I'm at Perkins Palace. I got the drum heaven, and I'm not going anywhere.
And Norwood, where are you? Kenny, where are you? We lost you, Kenny.
Oh, I'm trying to get back to the screen here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
What's happening?
I hear bass
I don't know
drum.
what. Hold on. Where the fuck? God dang- Oh, here we go. Here. Everyone, hey, here's our beloved Tony Franklin.
Hey, Tony! What's up, Tony?
Good seeing ya.
Tony and I getting ready to rock it. Here's my boy Chips Enough.
Here's Tony.
Hey,
Gentlemen, how are you? Let's go over to
Hey,
Hey, real quick. Here I'm going around the horn. Say hi, Billy Sheehan.
hello.
Billy Sheehan. Hey, how's it going, Billy?
Here's Scott. Yep. Perkins, Norwood, Scott, Shield, my whole talk. And here the lovely Rudy Sarzo, my old dear friend.
Rudy Sarzo.
Good to see you. Yeah, we're getting. Oh, here I'm taking over the man who wrote Rocky Mountain Way. Say, Joe, say hi to the Rock and Talk Show.
Hey, what's going on, man?
We're about to do some Rocky Mountain Way tonight. Hey, Gary Noe. Gary, say hi to the Rock and Talk Show. Norwood, everybody. Hey, what up?
How's it going? How's it going?
So I'm in a star-studded group of people here. We're about to rock for the campers.
Tell us about it. Where are you at? Turn your phone, Kenny.
Oh yeah, Gerald. Let me go out in the hallway a second.
Turn your phone. Turn your phone sideways.
So that's basically
There
your
you go.
hotel. That's your hotel room. That's what's going on in your hotel room.
Yeah.
Damn, you're bringing back the good old days, Kenny.
Quick, legendary Vinny. Hey Perkins, here you go. Vinny, say hi to the Rock and Talk Show here.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey Perkins.
Hey, boys.
We're gonna get Vinny on this show too.
Yes, he is on this show for more than once.
So at Perkins Palace. Good to see you. Perkins, no stranger to the fantasy campaign.
It's a fantasy, man. You're having a great time. What a great bunch of cats.
So I'm gonna start playing right now, and I'll come back in. I don't want to interrupt. And you guys got lots to talk about. We got one.
Hey, thanks for bringing Beyond Backstage to life.
That is Beyond Backstage right there, Kenny. And that's a beautiful thumb, man. That thumb is like one of the coolest thumbs I've ever seen.
Look at it.
That thumb's great, Kenny. This is what it looks like.
You can see the resin on it.
There you go. I love it. Well, listen, man, last week we had a great show. We got to thank our guests from last week. We had Greg Ranoff. Amazing. And we had
He's a
Callie-
great author, yes.
California kid singing his song that Stephen met at school. He's a supervisor at the school that he works at, but he doesn't do anything except play music and tell the kids to go to class. And then the rest of the day, there's nothing to do. I love that. I want that job.
And then, of course, Jimmy Deonda, the drumming sensation.
Well,
yeah.
wait. I wanted to say the handsomest drummer around town.
Uh-oh, Perkins, you gonna let that happen? Perkins, you gonna let that happen?
This is something, okay. All right.
I said besides Perkins.
Well, the debate between me and Jimmy, we've got a lot of debates. That's one of them. But Jimmy's a great soul. I love that guy forever. Thank you, Jimmy, for joining us. And also, what a cool day doing it from the Viper Room. We had Airplane. We had Gary Spivak visit. I had a good time. We should do some more remote gigs like that, from
We had Tommy Black, right?
Yeah, Tommy Black, the Viper, the guy that runs the Viper. And now we got news that the Viper is going to be destroyed, demolished, and they're going to put up a 12-story building and still call it the Viper Room. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, apartments and kind of crazy, right?
You know what? I'm gonna say this because I'm not scared. Right? In the deep underground, I heard that there was a plan to take the Viper Room as it is and lift it up and put it on like the second, third, or fourth floor or something. Like just
cool.
Keep it intact. Now, somebody come knocking on my door, y'all know what happened, but
yeah, be careful.
That was a fun show. Well, Scott,
I was in the dark.
Scott's in Austin, Texas. Perk, you just did a show last night with Banyan in San Diego. How was that?
That was a great night. We had John Avila on bass from Oingo Boingo, the great Willie Waldman playing trumpet. We had our cool friend Jimmy, who paints with Think. He painted with Banyan. And then we had Brian Jordan on guitar, who's just a funky, great guy. And we have a show coming up with Norwood on bass in Durango, Colorado, come April. So Banyan is back, and the alumni is like 200 musicians. So we're growing. I like to grow.
You're competing with Trulio. And speaking of Trulio, Norwood, what's going on with Trulio?
Yeah, when the show is over tonight, I'm heading over to the Mint.
Yeah.
And you got Trulio.
Yeah. Reject Your Reality is the first band again, the little kids with the badass 13-year-old drummer.
Okay,
and,
good.
We'll have Pepper Lewis on the show as well.
Oh, cool.
Oh my God, great.
And then Bobby Easton's band, Delta Nove.
Yep.
And then because the show is based around Trulio does Weapon of Choice. You know, my brother from another mother, Lonnie Marshall, Weapon of Choice.
Yes.
He handpicked members of Trulio to kind of bulk up the sound. And if you don't know Weapon of Choice, go on YouTube and figure it out. Go on iTunes or wherever you listen to music. Because it was a special place in time when that came up and erupted on the scene. Him and his brother, Arik Marshall. Arik was a Red Hot Chili Pepper for a hot minute.
Yeah, Arik the Freak.
Yeah. And so we'll do some Weapon of Choice songs and we'll do some Trulio songs. And it's like, you know, we'll be playing as long as the night allows.
Let's get those kids on the show.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Those kids are badass.
Let's do it. It's on.
I love it.
No. He's like young drummer needs you.
I'm coming.
He needs you in his life, bro.
I want to be there.
He's got it. His future is set.
Yeah. So I got to see this kid, man. I want to meet him.
Nice.
Wow. So it feels like, you know, rock and roll and inspiration is back. And, you know, you think about all the darkness we went through. Now we can open up the light and write music and poetry and books and do art and make love, make babies.
And speaking of rocking and rolling, the guests that we got coming on tonight, we got the co-founder of Leftover Salmon, Vince Herman, guitarist, singer, songwriter. Will Champlin, coming on, friend to all of us. And it's about to be a good throwdown, I think.
And on that note, I think I'm going to bring in Vince Herman right now. Let's bring him in.
I'm going to put our performance in the background, but I'll mute it so you guys can talk.
Yeah.
I love y'all.
Vince, turn your phone again, Vince.
Oh, I'm all twisted around again.
Turn it and then turn it back. Oh, there you go. Perfect.
All right.
Vince Herman, welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. How are you, buddy?
I'm grinning big over here, man. If I felt any better, I'd have to be twins.
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen you, and you look great. I understand from a Facebook post that you had a little bout with some pneumonia like a few weeks ago. You doing all right?
Yeah. I had a little heart surgery and got a little pneumonia on top of it. You know, it's been a challenging couple weeks, but you know, it's spring remodeling season. You know, just getting a little rewiring done.
Yeah. Well, quickly, let's introduce you to the crew. I know you met Stephen Perkins a little bit earlier from Jane's Addiction.
Yes,
you met Norwood from Fishbone. We've got Scotty Page over here, saxophonist from Pink Floyd, Toto, and Supertramp.
Woohoo!
And then we got Kenny Olson.
Hi, buddy.
Kenny Olson over there, who's in Miami. You know, he's in Daytona Beach, right? Where is he, Sheila?
I think it's Fort Lauderdale.
He's in Florida. Let's just leave it at that. Doing rock and roll fantasy camp with Dave Fishoff. And then Sheila Conlon over here. Everybody, Vince Herman from Leftover Salmon.
All right.
Vince, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, quick question.
I can't say
What was the first instrument you picked up? I just got to know because your hands are just so gentle.
Oh man, you know, it was actually drums, man. Drums at first.
The gentle hands had nothing to do with slapping stuff. That's
But at about the same time, my brother gave me a plywood guitar. A plywood piece of plywood shaped like a guitar with some rubber bands as strings, and it was 1965. Strict Irish German Catholic family in Pittsburgh. They weren't allowed to be hippies, but they could dress me up like one. So I got a photo of myself at 3 years old with one of my mother's wigs on, and boots up to my waist, pretty much, and dressed up like a hippie, playing guitar, feeling like the Beatles, man.
That's
so
cool.
Are you in Colorado? Where are you now?
I'm at home in Nashville right now. I moved here about a year ago.
Okay.
But got a little COVID stir crazy and got an RV and roamed across the country and ended up here, and a bunch of things happened that made me want to come back and stay here. So
well, that's
doing lots of writing.
Give us a little history about Leftover Salmon. Is in how many years have you guys been going, and how'd you come together? Give us a little history.
Well, it came together with my band, the Salmon Heads. A couple of the guys couldn't make the New Year's gig out of town, and I got a couple of the guys from the Left Hand String Band, a bluegrass band that I had previously been in, and threw the band together for one night, combined the Left Hand String Band and the Salmon Heads into Leftover Salmon, thinking it was going to be one gig. And 32 years later, thinking we probably could have thought of a better name. I don't know, but yeah.
So how many gigs do you guys do usually? What time? How much do you out? Were you at?
I mean, there were times that we were damn near 300, but we're down to about 60, 70. This phase of our world,
Right.
When you do that many gigs, like the big hundreds, it's great because you get to go through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and you get to do these places, and you're bringing music to people that are just so hungry for a good time. And
absolutely.
Some of the greatest shows ever. I mean, of course, Chicago, New York City, they're all great. But when you get to like Bozeman or, and you get to catch them, it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up, as a band on all that stuff, being from Colorado, we the ski areas where we got our first gigs and kept them. We still do mountain tours.
Yeah.
It's fun. Those are our peeps.
Yep. Yeah. Good people, man. And you get to ski if you like. You usually sleep in, but they give you lift tickets. You never use them, but you get them.
1995, I learned how to snowboard in Colorado because the guys from the Skeletons were the opening band on the Fishbone tour.
Yeah.
And after 95, like by 97, we was spending 2 weeks alone in Colorado, and we would go into Montana and Idaho, and play all the ski towns. Like I found powder and, got addicted like a crackhead to it.
Exactly.
One of the better powders to enjoy.
Thank goodness.
I was telling the guys after you left for our pre show here how we met, which was, I don't even know if you remember, but it was probably in the late 90s at the hog farm. You guys rolled up in a freaking psychedelic tie-dye painted school bus, and we met at the hog farm. We hit it off. We've kept in touch ever since. And
you were doing the Little Feet radio out of K-Hum in Humboldt, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then I think Bill Payne, ultimately I introduced you guys to Little Feet, and Bill Payne produced a record for you guys, right?
He did. He produced a record right before we took our hiatus. And then Bill joined the band for a couple of years.
That's right.
5 or 6 years ago.
Absolutely forgot about that. But now that you say that, I remember.
Man, what a great player, man. You cats, the other cats on the show here have played with such monumental folks in this music world. My chance to get to play with Bill Payne for a while was a definite highlight for me, man.
Yeah, Billy's the best, man. I mean, talk about that, he really understands that New Orleans and all that kind of real, traditional stuff. He knows how to play traditional music really well. Yeah, I love
his vocabulary is so big, too. But when he was producing, the evening before, we were kind of getting all up in ourselves, getting a little anal with it. The next morning he comes in and just sits us down and plays this John Lee Hooker song. And at the end of it, he says, if John Lee Hooker was to make this record today, there'd be somebody on the other side of the glass going, Mr. Hooker, you were a little pitchy on the third verse, and you lost the click track on the. Yeah, that's all he said.
That's enough. That's enough, man. Isn't it great when you get people that just give you a little bit of guidance? Yeah. It's like a great tennis game. It's nice when the guy's better than you, because then you got to try harder. You learn, you get better. And, it's not, music isn't tennis. You don't win or lose, but everybody wins, really,
I always like to say when it's a little out of tune, it sounds like there's more of you.
Absolutely.
It just makes that grind, right?
Yeah.
It is so, so interesting. That's why I always say that, the solo button on the recording console is the most dangerous button on the planet. Because, you'll cut this kick-ass track, you'll listen to it, it's all grinded, it's moving like crazy. And next thing you know, you start whittling. Oh, that's out of tune. Let's fix that. You start fixing everything, and it loses all that stuff. And I learned that. I don't know if you remember Michael Smotherman. Do you happen to remember Michael Smotherman, the songwriter, by any chance? Michael was the one, we'd be working in the studio and we'd be playing, right? And we get ready. He says, okay, let's cut it. And I said, let me tune. And he'd go, no, don't tune. It's working. Don't touch it. And then my intellect would go, but I got to fix this, right? And then I tune it, and you would hear from like the little track that we cut before to that, how much it changed. So that little bit of out of tuneness in the grind. And he basically showed me that you got to be careful, because when it's working, don't break it.
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
I gotta just say, what I like about Leftover Salmon and Vince and Drew and the guys was, with Little Feat, it was really cool because they were great with my son. My son was a little 4, 5, 6-year-old playing drums, and they basically embraced that, took him onto stage and fed his love. And Leftover Salmon, Vince and Drew and Mark, rest in peace, and all of the guys were very, very much the same. My partner when I did the Little Feat Radio Hour was Jim Fulton and his son Jubal. Remember Jubal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jubal was a young drummer, and we had Leftover Salmon playing up here in Humboldt. And they brought Jubal up. He was probably like 10 years old or 11 years old, brought him up at the end of the show to sit in for the encore and play drums. And it was just,
I think he's still playing drums now.
I'm not so sure. My son's playing drums. I'm not sure if Jubal's still playing. Is he?
Right.
Yeah. But
I think I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. What's your son doing?
He's playing, he had his band Steel Toed Slippers for a long, long time. And now he's living up in Portland, and he's playing in a band called Tango Alpha Tango. But mostly he's selling real estate these days and just killing it.
All right.
I thought you were going to say weed.
Yeah, no, that's me. That's me.
Oh shit!
It's great when your kids follow in your steps. Even after seeing what doing this for a career does to you, that my kids aren't afraid to play music.
Well, don't you have a weed farm or something, farmer?
I did for about 6 or 7 years in Oregon, and the marriage went south, and so did the farm with that one. But yeah, those were some just delicious days, man. Just hanging in the garden. I'll treasure that. Yeah.
Was
that
it
experience.
the renegade years or was it legal at that point?
No, it was all legit. You know, about halfway through.
You got an outlaw vibe, bro.
You do what you got to do, you know. Yeah.
Quick question. Do you remember, besides Bill Payne, which was a great story, another musician where you pinched yourself and said, I used to have posters on my wall and now I'm on stage with this one? Those great.
Oh yeah, Jackson Brown, man, for me was just a mind melter, man. Yeah.
Wow. Where was that?
And it was at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival, and it was the most amazing experience. Jackson came the day of the show, showed up at our condo to run the tune. I had asked him the previous night before, hey, why don't you come up and join us during our set? I knew he was in town, and he played, the night before. Like, sure, I'll do that. Showed up at our condo to learn the tune. We learned the tune. And at the end of it, I'm like, well, hey, you're up there. You want to do another one? and I called this tune called Casino Nation. And he got this look in his eye like a kid had just got picked for the kickball team and wasn't expected to go in the early rounds, man. I mean, like,
so sweet.
And he said, you know that song? Man, wow. And just, man, like, here it is, like this ultimate bucket list to play with this cat. And he's just wanting to get picked for the kickball team too, man.
You turned him on. 2 weeks ago, I'm working with this band called Air from Columbus. They came to LA on Thursday. They went to the Mint. They met Jackson Brown with Dave Moss helping that. And then on Sunday, when they left town, they met Dave Grohl. So they got bookends of California, the beginning and where it's at now. And they were only here for 5 days. They're like, what? This is what's going on in Los Angeles? I'm like, yeah, this is it, baby. You got to go.
I was just going to say, it was like Steven started a new record label, Perkins Palace Records, and he's got this great band.
Nice.
And their first night in town, they play the Viper Room as a showcase in front of a bunch of agents. Then we walk down to the Rainbow Room and have a little, cocktail with Lemmy. And then I was like, you guys want to go see one of the classic venues in LA? It's the Mint. We go over to the Mint. Jackson Brown's son is playing. Jackson's also a friend of mine. I know him through some nonprofit work. So their first night in LA, they play the Viper Room, they go to the Rainbow, and they meet Jackson Brown at the Mint. Like their first night in LA.
Yeah. Good night.
Good Lord.
So what's next for you? Are you working on new music? What are you doing?
Man, I'm just finished up doing my first solo record in all these years, man. Really psyched. Did here in Nashville, a bunch of great session cats, and Dave Ferguson, Fergie produced it. Yeah. And man, I'm just tickled as can be.
Want to give us a little taste?
Yeah, sure, man.
Give us a little taste. Give us a little some.
It's more tune on the record. All I've seen too many highways, seen too many bars, spent too many cold nights sleeping in this car. The same thing I did yesterday, I'll do again today, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I moved from Pennsylvania to Colorado skies, moved to California, just tell a couple lines. I ran into the promised land, looked the devil in the eye, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't change a dang thing, ain't waiting for no phone to ring. I know what a fortune brings, I just need someone to change my strings. I've never been to prison in spite of all I've done. Made some bad decisions and I've had a lot of fun. I'd rather have a good time until I'm old and gray. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Wouldn't change a damn blank thing. Ain't waiting for no phone to ring. I know what a fortune brings. I just need someone to change my So I'm back up on this bar stool right where I belong. Talking to an old fool that's pitching me a song. I guess I'll have another, and you better make it strong, 'cause I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't change a thing, dang thing. Ain't waiting for no phone to ring. I know what a fortune brings. I just need someone to change my skin. I've seen too many highways, seen too many bars, slept too many cold nights out sleeping in this car. Same thing I did yesterday, I'll do again today. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, Vince Herman. I love it.
That was cool.
Amazing.
You know what? I wanted to.
The best lyrics I've heard. It's like, dude.
Have it any other way.
Thanks, man.
Sitting on this bar stool right where I belong. I like it.
Yeah, I know. I like that one too.
Hey, now that I'm living in Nashville, I'm talking to an old fool that's pitching me a song, man. Everybody's got a song pitched for you in this town.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? If Kenny could be on, because Kenny used to live in Nashville, and well, he sort of still does. But yeah, he's been there for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. Kenny, can you hear us?
No. Yeah.
He can't. They're rocking out over at Fantasy Camp.
Yeah.
Nice.
But you're right, because he always says that too. It's like everybody's got a song, everybody's got something going on in Nashville.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great energy to be around. It's been
Vince,
good for me.
I'm looking at that picture behind you. Is that a Frenchie?
That is actually a scramble.
Oh, okay. That
I've
looks
got
like
this-
You know Frenchie in New Orleans?
Oh yeah, I've actually got a combination Frenchie and scramble.
Oh,
where
wow.
they did the split the canvas. I think that's in the other room there. But yeah, I love scramble camel.
Do you do visual art yourself?
A little bit, man. A little bit. I've got a couple landscapes I've been working on for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna figure out the math yet, man. How do you bring that forward, man?
With Scott Page, man, and also with Norwood. Norwood's brother Fish is one of the greatest drummers on planet Earth, and Scott Page grew up with Picaro. So when I'm playing with these guys, I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm doing. These guys have played with the best. I don't know what to do. Don't you love it when you're playing with guys that just make you want to play better and kind of make you just think, man, we're growing,
Well, dude, that's what you are. No, Perkins, that's what I love about you, man.
You, my brother.
You make the whole thing come up, right?
Yeah.
Certain guys do that. Certain guys can do that, right? They have that lift. Who another one is Steve Lukather. When he steps on the band lifts. If there's just certain people that do that, you have that magic.
Yes.
And it's why I love to play with you so much.
Well, back at you, Scott. Scott, man, this cat's got a growl in the saxophone. I haven't heard a growl like that ever. It's just nasty.
What you do when you have no chops, you can growl and it makes it work.
Yeah.
Just
All right. Talking about playing with people then and just make you better, man. My policy for years has been always be the worst player in your band. Yeah.
It's always been very easy for me. It's been very easy for me.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Who's in Leftover Salmon today? How's Drew? How's he doing?
Drew's doing great, man. We're having a ball in year 32 of this thing, and it's feeling fresh as can be. We got Alwyn Robinson on drums. It's just, boy, he's just a badass, man.
Yeah.
He grew up down in Texas. His father was a music professor / drill instructor in the Army.
Jesus
So,
Christ.
you know,
Oh, that's
yeah. So he's got it, man. He's got the discipline, man. He's just really a great cat to hang with. And,
Can he play a Texas Shuffle? Can he play a Texas Shuffle?
oh, you know, he's got all the shuffles, all 42. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Rock and roll fantasy camp.
Yeah, what did you have there? Oh, Britt. He had
Is
Britt.
that Britt Lightning over there?
Yeah.
Have you ever done rock and roll fantasy camp, Vince?
I have not.
Would that
Sounds
be something
like
you
fun.
would want to do? Would that like you're what how do you Cajun?
Well, yeah.
What
Just
was
exactly what kind of fantasies are involved? You know, I want to. You know,
Who's fantasy? Who's rock and roll
I want to
fantasy?
get in over my head here, man. You know?
They're teaching the kids to throw televisions out of hotel windows and shit, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Keith Moon said anybody can throw it out the window. It depends what channel it's on. That's what
Nice.
Vince, if you want your fantasy chance on fantasy camp, we can hook you up.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
I wanted to ask you a question. What is Cajun jug?
Well, we called our music polyethnic Cajun slamgrass music, you know, but Cajun jug and jug band music and all that kind of stuff is involved, you know, Cajun music, you know, it being just Mardi Gras, you know, Cajun music's been streaming in all the grocery stores, hasn't it? Oh,
yeah.
I assume it's like Christmas, right?
Yeah.
You know? And then, you know, jug band music, you know, it's I guess it's tied together with the use of a big old, you know, 5-gallon jug that you blow into.
Moonshine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, do that again. I want to see you do that again.
Did you huff as a child?
Oh, absolutely. I huff and puff. In fact, I'm thinking about huffing one right now.
Well, you can. It's totally
yes. This is no rules right here. This is radio without the rules, baby.
You know, they say James Jamerson started playing bass by putting a stick in an ant's hole with a rubber band, and he would pluck the rubber band to watch the ants dance. And I'm not making that up. I couldn't make that up.
No.
He, you know, he's like, I want to make these little guys move, and he vibrated their home with a rubber band and a stick, and you know, the drums and music and the jug, you know, just moving air. And what my point is, you guys are familiar with the didgeridoo. Well, it's actually a hollowed out gum tree in the bush. The tree would actually make the sound, and the Aborigines said, hey, let's make our own didge. We'll cut the tree and we'll blow in it, and we'll learn how to circle or breathe. But the forest itself was going yo, and you know, and the leaves were rustling. So it's just amazing what people can do with you know, the instruments. And back to the moonshine, you finish your jug of moonshine and you blow in it because nothing else to do.
I mean, that's actually pretty amazing. I never realized that was the story of the didgeridoo. I want to go to that forest and, like, you know, eat some mushrooms or something. That sounds like fun. Let's go.
Yeah, the ants actually hollow it out for them. You know,
exactly.
They don't, you know, do that.
No, they don't have to do the work. The ants do the work. And that goes back to Jamerson. Maybe Jamerson doing the rubber band affected the ants down under.
You guys realize we're talking about ants now. Ants.
They're important.
Man, I guess they weren't fire ants.
Yeah.
Was he in Memphis?
Who?
Where was Jameson? Where did
Was he in
Jameson grow up?
Memphis?
Detroit.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So probably not Fire Ants then.
No,
No.
Detroit Motor City Ants.
Yeah.
Deadly motorcycle. Yeah.
Hot Wheel. Little
Yeah.
Hot Wheel.
You know, another thing I noticed, Vince, when I was reading about you and all the amazing things you've done, and I love your music. One of my favorites that I listened to growing up when I was a kid and was my grandfather and my dad's favorite, Flat and Scruggs.
Yeah.
And you played with them, right?
We got to play with Earl Scruggs on the National Sessions record, and his son Randy Scruggs produced that record. So
Okay.
yeah, that was a dream come true.
Damn.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've met Randy before. But yeah, that music is just so beautiful. And I saw that. I was like, oh wow.
And his music is absolutely unparalleled. But I really loved what he did with the Scruggs Family Band and all those things. Doing Dylan songs and doing repertoire from them hippie kids out there and giving a lot of people a chance to hang. When we recorded that record, Earl came in the morning, and then Taj Mahal was coming in that afternoon, and Earl waited around 2 hours to be able to meet Taj. He'd never met Taj.
Wow.
And just to show you what kind of respect that Earl gave to so many people, way ahead of his time.
That was a great record. That was more of a traditional kind of, a little more traditional bluegrass and Nashville vibe than what Leftover Salmon typically does. Because like when I first heard Leftover Salmon at the Hog Farm, I was like, I've never heard anything like this. Like, you guys created a genre in my mind, your polyethnic Cajun slamgrass or whatever you call it. Like, honestly, I'd never heard anything like, obviously it had the bluegrass element, but it had the jam band, the rock, the Cajun, and it was just a combination of music that I'd never heard before. And it was so unique. And still to this day, I don't think I've heard anything that sounds really like Leftover Salmon. You guys created a sound that's pretty much yours.
ADD music for another generation, man. Yeah.
You know what's pretty cool, and Norwood has this in common with me, is that Fishbone and Jane's was part of the scene, and it was post-punk LA. And then there was this great moment where we were embraced by the jam scene and Banyan and Fishbone, and all of a sudden we're doing gigs with Martin Medeski and Wood and Humphrey McGee's and Mo, but it's such great musicians and such giving people. And it's all about the music, and it's all about going all night. And it's great to see that what it's done after the Grateful Dead planted the seed, even though the music doesn't sound like it, the urge to get out for the weekend and just dance. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
The thing that I always thought that tied together the jam band scene, because musically it's all over the place. What is this thread that ties it together? People who have hair are going to be at the show. Is really what that meant, man.
That's the hair.
Yeah.
And I said it before. Jerry Garcia, when he flew into Woodstock, he said, you don't get this many people together unless it's a battlefield. What does it? Music brings people together, man. And I think you have a great heart, and your fingers, I said, are so fragile and delicate on that instrument. Thanks for being you, Vince. Thank you, man.
Thanks, bud. Appreciate that, man.
Indeed.
I feel really lucky to have have been doing this for all these years. And and getting so much joy from it. Getting to play music with my kids, getting to have the band feel fresh all these years. And doing a bunch of other projects, doing a thing called the High Hawks with Tim Carbone from Railroad Earth and
nice.
Cat Staley from the Hard Working Americans, Adam Rowell from the Horseshoes and Hand Grenades. Big conglomerate band. Are you still doing Great American Taxi? No Taxi. Although that band still exists, and they play a show every now and then. Then we see Jim Lewin every once in a while. Jim sat in with leftover salmon out there.
You ever talk to Jeff Sipe? How's he doing?
Sipe's doing great. He's in Brevard, North Carolina, teaching a whole bunch out there. And God, he did that stuff with John McLaughlin a couple years back. That was an incredible tour. And, of course, we all still stand in the shadow of Bruce Hampton, man. Our
Bruce,
our arisen leader.
Colonel Bruce, rest in peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I think we have another guest we're going to bring in, right?
Who wants to do the proper introduction?
Well, I think I had Perkins wanting to do this, or would you like me to do it?
I would love to introduce first of all, Will Champlin was introduced to me by Scott Page, and he said, "Are you ready for a voice and a soul and talent through and through?" And I was looking in the mirror. I said, "Where do you want me to look?" I don't know what. No, he said, Will Champlin, man, this cat can produce, he can sing, he can play piano, he's a songwriter. He's just he's an Americana hero, in my opinion, and he's a young man, but his voice is just incredible, and his soul. So please welcome Will Champlin, also known as Kill Bill, Kill Will, Kill Bill, Phil.
He's also a member of Think X.
That's
right. Yay!
Yeah. Bad Willie boy. He's
Vinny, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Will.
What's up, Will? Welcome to the show. Do you know Vince Herman from Leftover Salmon?
No, I first time meet. Did I meet you?
Howdy, Will. Good to meet you.
I gotta shut this door real quick.
Psyched to hear what you got going there, man. Yeah.
Oh, we got that all the octobons and stuff going on behind.
Oh yeah, I've got the drum room.
Nice.
But how's your day been? What are you working on? What are you doing?
I'm working on a video. I got like 2 videos to edit for 2 different songs. One that's already out, and one that's coming out. I can't spoil it, unfortunately, but yeah, I've been just going hard on some videos, taking it upon myself to create the videos for some of these songs and stuff. So
people like to watch music, man.
Hey Scott, what's going on?
Yo, my brother, my hero.
What's up? There. Yeah, in fact, I shot some. I had my my buddy help me shoot some stuff up in San Bernardino Mountains last week. We got some dope stuff actually. Actually, out right here. Some of it's right here.
Wait. Are you gonna show us?
Wait, is it your eyes only? Who gets to see this stuff?
Can we see it?
It's not OnlyFans. It's no OnlyFans, man. I mean, yeah, it's like we're in front of a bridge and all this. It looks like Europe or something. So,
well, the things about you, Will, that blows my mind is how prolific. I mean, you're dropping records every week. Like it's crazy. Or even the other day, like, there's stuff coming out. It's mind-boggling how much you can get out of you. It's crazy.
Some of it's not. Some of it's not for kids. Some of it's like equivalent of porn, basically. So, no, I don't go there.
What's your it ain't that kind of porn. That's for sure.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're just like, you know what, I'm gonna create? What do you go to usually?
I don't know. Sometimes it's got to come to my head, and it's a thought, and it's like I'm like writing it in, probably lyrics, but like most of the time. These days, yeah. I mean, it'll just be some purposeful thing ringing off of my head, and I'm like, and I hear a flow, and then I'm like, sometimes I don't hear a hook, I just hear a concept, and I'm like, or whatever. And it's like going in my head, and I'll write it down until it is. Sometimes I make a lot of beats, and I definitely iron out arrangements and do all that too. These days I've been doing that around what I'm thinking of and what I'm coming up with. So,
there's a subject matter, there's a theme, there's something you need to say, and then the music follows around it. Yeah. And then what about your vocal melody? Because your voice, man, it's like 2,000 years old. It's like, what the heck? Where this voice you have? It's incredible.
I mean, it's all like a recipe to me. It's just like sometimes it seemed to be like the same process every time, because this will be like, okay, chords, rhythm, maybe not even vocals, maybe not even full lyric melodies yet, maybe just like saucy stuff like and then verb it out and have some layers like that, and then it's all a a canvas to me. So it's like one thing.
So one
Do
thing
you-
about your, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Scott.
No, I was just going to say, because I know you're a guitar player, you're a keyboard player. I mean, you play a lot of, what do you like to write on mostly? Do you go to your guitar first, or do you go to your keyboard? Or does a song like, this one makes me feel I need to do it with keyboard, or this one makes me feel I need to make it, how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, either or sometimes sometimes I'll find some weird sample or something.
Right.
Go from there, and then it'll spark a chord progression too, and some kind of rhythm, and I'll just build around something like minuscule sometimes. Like,
because for us, you're fascinating to us because we sit there and play our one instrument for 50 fucking years. And
Yeah, right.
And you do all these things, and it's like really cool.
Yeah, you play every instrument. And what I wanted to talk or ask you about is your voice too. It's like, I know there's natural talent and there's this, and some people, you have to work at it, you have to practice, but your voice is so versatile. Like you can sing anything. And do you work at it, or is it just like something very easy?
I'm very rusty right now. My God, I probably, yeah. I mean, I did a national anthem this weekend at a horse racing track. Man, I had to warm up. Man, I was like, oh man, I seriously had to like warm up, like the good old days, like going those recordings. I went to like Valerie Morehouse and brushed up my real like range and all that. I'm like, okay, I really got to like nail this, not pick the wrong key, and just like but yeah, I mean, being in a creative zone, I'm not always the sharpest, but sometimes like if I'm on like if I'm with you guys and on the stage and then we're doing Pink Floyd stuff, that's not too rangy, and plus it's like it's supposed to be grungier, a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you when I hear your voice, you sound like someone who has self-realized as a vocalist, right?
Yeah.
And so I imagine you were probably in your teens when you maybe began to find your voice. Would that be correct? Or was it later?
I dabbled. I just, I kind of dabbled with it, tried to write a little. I did try too hard, and then I, I had to find the pocket.
Who was your inspiration mostly to from wherever you started to where you are vocally?
I'd say a lot of classic rock stuff. I mean, then along came John Mayer a little bit, and then I was like, all right, whatever. And then newer stuff kind of came along, like I dig like this Post Malone, just a little more like Savage kind of rock, soul, and in hip hop.
Will, something happened to your mic where you were sounding really great, and now that's much better. Like,
yeah, there we go.
I want to make sure we're hearing you well.
Into the mic.
So tell us about, because you've got such a wide range, tell us about the song that you're going to perform for us, because I thought it was a very interesting choice. And give us a little background on why you chose this, and it's very cool.
It's probably Hell in the Handbasket. I probably heard so many. You know what it was? It was all of them a joke. Like I think it was like Hank Hill said it or something in a TV episode. Well, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, right? So I'm watching that. I'm like, holy shit, it is. Right. So that's kind of like what I was going off of, and
Well, it was originally done by the ex-ambassadors, right? Is that true? Or
No. I just said it. I said it kind of sounded like that, but maybe it sounded a little bit like a slowed down version of Renegades, maybe.
Okay, got it. I thought you were saying they had done it before. Okay, but no, this has not been released yet at all.
Never
right?
yet. Brand new Kill Will, inspired by many different things, but only the original can do it. Please welcome.
Anyway, okay.
Well,
No, this is Will Champlin.
It doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Okay. It does the song, but not to you.
Everyone mute.
Oh yeah, everyone mute.
Can y'all hear that okay? I want to make sure like I have like just a good enough.
Play a little, and then we'll tell you. Sometime. Go ahead. Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, let's go Hell in a Handbasket. Three generations going strong. The pipeline closed, some laid off jobs. Now they're driving in an old school Chevy Nova. 4 kids in the backseat, wife at his side. Last cry surgeon, but they got a long ride from Detroit all the way to Pensacola. Can't find a medicine, losing to the settlement. His lungs all weighing down. Waiting on a foreign line, cutting down the plug, cause he don't want a handout. Here we go into hell in a handbasket, while the whole world's laughing. 'Cause I ain't naming no names right now. Just tell it to the song, let them figure it out. Where we go into hell in a handbasket. So come and jump right in. Jump right in. Oh, two of his boys went overseas, putting boots on the ground, fighting for freedom while they're watching the city fall to flames. Tensions rising like a tidal wave. Some call it change, call it what it is. We're living in the darkest of the days. But I'm speaking my mind, every rhyme mic dropping to the truth to shut it down. Waking up the sleepers, go to making my believers. Bring the low, bring the hate right now. Here we go into hell in a handbasket, while the whole world's laughing. While I'm screaming all names right now, I just tell it to the song, let them figure it out. There we go in hell in a handbasket. So come and jump right in. Oh. Son, shut up and sing what we tell you to sing. Say, son, shut up and sing what we tell you to sing. Say, son, shut up and sing what we tell you to sing. Say, son, shut up and sing what we tell you to sing.
Yeah,
Bravo,
Will Champlin. Wow,
Yeah, I mean,
beautiful.
That's the more like folk American
Yeah.
side, outside of all the savagely
Damn, dude, your
Really
voice
hip-hop
is
stuff I've
ridiculous.
been dropping.
You have a beautiful voice. You really do, Will. Like, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that was
Quite a
incredible.
talent. Tell us about those records, and you have some cool photos behind you on the wall. What's
Oh, that's
going
one of
on
my
back
old
there?
band records, like Sons of Champlin and Chicago and stuff.
Nice.
Oh, your dad. Oh, your dad. Tell us about your. That's right. You come from a musical family as well.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Sons of Champlin in Chicago. He was a long-time member of the band Chicago.
You know, I
Love
brought
the
Sons
band
of I did a
Chicago.
show. I did a show with Sons of Champlin. They got together for a minute. Like, I don't even remember what year it was. It was maybe 2000, maybe somewhere right around there. They did a few shows. They got back together, and I brought them up to Humboldt County to play at the Mateel Community Center. And it was fucking amazing. Such a great show. I mean, everybody was there. Mick Gillette, everybody was there. It was beautiful. It was an amazing show.
Nice.
So,
Awesome, man.
anyways, I mean, gosh, look at this. Like, we're
Scott, you don't have your mic on. Scott's trying to talk.
Scott, you're on mute.
I was just gonna say, I gotta fanboy a little bit. I was one of probably the biggest Sons of Champlin fans on the planet, man. And I love Bill. And I was so excited because I got to play with him one time. And I actually played on a record. He was never there. I played on one of his tunes once, but I remember we used to do the Mark and Brian show. And he actually came and I was, because he was one of my favorite musicians of all time, because his B3 playing and his voice. He's another guy. I was just curious. Did your dad drive any of this into you to sing and stuff the way you sing? Was that a big part of you growing up? Because he's like, one of the great singers. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, a little, and then I mean, I kind of find myself being more of a creator, and whereas he kind of stayed in his lane and dabbled with like more the pop music at the time in this town, and he's kind of going back to like his bluesier roots, I suppose.
Right.
Now, there was the origin was San Francisco for the band.
Yeah.
Oakland and Marin.
Right. So, man, you think about it with Quicksilver, Blue Cheer, The Dead, everything that was going on. It's just surrounded by, and they also dressed so cool. If you see photos, they actually, it was like, they
Bell
wore.
bottom. We had our bell bottom.
I don't know,
man. Well,
I'm not sure if he ever rocked those, but
yeah, I wanted to say, getting on stage with you as much as we have in the last few years and getting to know you, it's just been great. I'm so happy you're part of Think.
Thank you, man. Same here.
And the way you take the songs and make them your own, like Derek Day, you guys make things special, and I look forward to it. So thanks, Will.
Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, listen, I mean, we're literally at 6:30. This show just flew by.
It was great.
And I just want to say, thanks to Vince, and I'm glad you're feeling well, and the heart surgery went well, and the pneumonia went well, and now you're feeling like you got to get back out and dig some holes. I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Will, thank you for joining. Where can people find? It's pretty obvious, but Vince, tell us where people can find Leftover Salmon.
Oh man, Leftover Salmon's going to have a big old summer at a whole bunch of festivals, from the Hog Farm to Telluride to Delfest to Summer Camp to all around the country doing that kind of thing. You catch the High-Hawks, you catch my solo band coming out this fall. Got a new solo record, and tunes coming out everywhere.
Yay!
Awesome. You guys are doing Kate Wolf. You guys are going to do the Kate Wolf.
Yeah.
I love it. I might have to come up for that.
Great festival.
Oh man, there's no place like the Hog Farm, right?
It's the best, man. Here's the wavy gravy, man. This ain't misbehaving, man. What an amazing being.
Exactly. He
That's
walks
great.
around.
Yeah.
He walks around with his invisible.
Fish,
dog leash with his fish in it, and the fish's name is Dog.
Yes.
He's like, meet my pet fish named Dog. And Will, tell us where we can find you, what's going on, and how can people hear your music?
I usually try to push people to iTunes. I'm probably gonna release something next week. I'll probably have it up on social media, IG and all that. Kill Will C.
And then you'll be with us. Oh wait. And then you'll be with us performing with me. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, look who's Kenny's got.
Kenny,
Kenny, you're
okay,
mute.
yeah,
You're
let's-
on mute, Kenny.
Kenny's at Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp. in
Okay,
Florida.
that was John Moyer from Disturbed.
Right.
Just
It
showing.
was wicked awesome.
Nice.
Okay, Kenny, we're getting ready to sign off.
It was wicked
All
fast.
right, love y'all.
What it was.
Love you, man.
So Vince and Will, hang tight for just a second. Don't leave, Kenny. We're gonna mute you real quick. Kenny, we're gonna mute Kenny. There we go.
It's like the real Beyond Backstage.
This
So we
is
got the
Beyond
real-
Backstage.
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
so thanks. Don't forget to check us out on all the podcasts, any podcast platform, wherever you like to listen to your podcast, whether it's Spotify or iHeart or
I love that, Dave. You just go all of them.
all
Just
of
say
them.
all of them.
We're on all of them. And Vince
Wait,
and Will,
wait.
don't leave just yet. Anything else that you want to add before I play the outro?
Yeah,
Wait a
Norwood,
minute.
Norwood does.
Yes, yes. The next show on March 24th. We got special guests that'll be announced soon, and really looking forward to April 7th. Rohan Marley. Yes.
Yeah.
Yay.
So stay tuned to hear all the updates.
That's right.
Yay.
All right. Well, on that note, you guys hang tight. Don't go away.
See you next time on the Rock and Talk Show Beyond Backstage with your hosts Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss. Executive producers Sheila Conlon and David Moss. Producer and director Eric Lloyd. Assistant producer and creative director Mark Armentano. Editor Graham Cooper. Theme music by ThinkX. Sponsors IK Multimedia and Lewitt Microphones. Artist Relations TPI Films. Special thanks to From the Earth, ThinkX, The Conlon Company, and Mac. Check us out on YouTube/The Rock and Talk Show, Facebook and Instagram at The Rock and Talk Show.
And there you have it. Until March